All right, let's talk about a feeling that I'm willing to bet is super familiar to just about everyone. It's that sense of being pulled in 100 different directions at once, like your focus has been shattered into a million tiny pieces. Today, we're diving deep into that invisible overload. I mean, you know this feeling, right? You're trying to get some work done, but your phone keeps buzzing. You're trying to read a book, but an email notification flashes on your screen. You're literally in a conversation with another human being, but your mind is stuck on some crazy headline you just glanced at. It is the perfect metaphor, isn't it? Your brain has way too many tabs open, and you can't for the life of you figure out which one is playing that annoying music.
And you know, a huge part of this feeling has a name we've all gotten to know lately: doom scrolling. It's that strange, magnetic pull to just keep scrolling through bad news. It feels like you're staying informed, but let's be honest, it almost always leaves you feeling totally drained and way more anxious.
So what is actually going on inside our heads that makes us feel this way? Let's get into the mechanics of this constant buzz and figure out why we're all feeling so completely overwhelmed. Okay, first things first, let's just bust a giant myth right now. We all love to think of ourselves as amazing multitaskers, right? Juggling emails, a work project, and a group chat all at once. But here's the tough truth from neuroscience. Our brains can't actually do that. What we call multitasking is really just task switching happening at a crazy fast speed.
And don't just take my word for it. An MIT neuroscientist, Earl Miller, puts it really bluntly. He says our brains are simply not wired to multitask well. Every single time we switch our focus from one thing to another, we pay a little price, a little cognitive tax. And when you do that hundreds of times a day, well, those taxes add up to total exhaustion.
And all this task switching, it has some serious consequences. This isn't just a vague feeling of being a bit scattered. Nope. Scientists can now actually measure the very real physical impact a single ping has on our brain.
Yeah, it's so easy to think, oh, it's just a quick peek at my phone, it'll only take a second. But the research tells a totally different story. The true cost of that one little notification is so much higher than just a few seconds of your time.
And check this out. The data from brainwave scans is just fascinating. On the left, you see a brain that's in the zone. It's focused, it's processing things smoothly, and it's not making a lot of mistakes. But look at the right. You introduce a few interruptions and bam, everything slows down. The error rate shoots up. You don't just feel less focused, you are less effective. It's science.
And the hits just keep on coming. The cost isn't just in your performance. Think about this. Some studies show it can take up to 23 minutes to fully get your focus back after just one single interruption. So, is it any surprise that people in constantly interrupted environments report way higher stress, more frustration, and this crushing feeling of being under pressure? It makes every little thing feel so much harder. Sound familiar? Now, here's the most critical piece of the puzzle. This constant state of distraction we're all living in, it's not some random bug of modern life. It's a feature. It is the very foundation of a massive multi-trillion-dollar business model.
Welcome to the attention economy. In this world, your attention, your limited, precious, and finite focus is the new oil. It is the most valuable commodity there is. And every social media company, every streaming service, every news site is in an all-out war to capture and hold it. Because in this new economy, where your eyeballs go, the money flows.
So how do they get us so hooked? Well, they're smart. They hijack our brain's own reward system. It's a really simple but brutally effective loop. It all starts with a cue, right? That little ping or buzz. That triggers an almost automatic action. You grab your phone. And then you get the reward, a tiny little hit of dopamine, the pleasure chemical, from seeing a new like, a new message, a new anything. Repeat that cycle hundreds of times a day, and you've built a powerful subconscious habit.
If you've seen the documentary The Social Dilemma, you'll remember how they put it. The goal of this whole model is basically to answer one question. How much of your life can we get you to give us? When you hear it phrased like that, it's pretty chilling, and it's 100% accurate.
And their weapon of choice in this battle is the algorithm. You know, things like autoplay on YouTube or the For You page on TikTok. They aren't there to help you find what you want. They're designed with one single purpose, to find the fastest path to the next thing that will grab your attention and keep you scrolling, leading you down what the engineers themselves call a rabbit hole.
Okay, I know that all sounds pretty intense. And it is. We're up against a massive systemic force. But, and this is a big but, it is not a hopeless situation. We can absolutely fight back. The whole key is to switch our mindset, to move from just reacting to everything to being conscious and intentional.
The big strategy here is a shift away from time management. Honestly, that's an outdated idea for a world that's always on. The real game changer now is attention management. It's about learning how to deliberately control where your most valuable and most limited resource is actually going. And you can really see the two different paths laid out here. On one side, you've got the reactive mode. That's where the attention economy wants you. Distracted, trying to multitask, glued to your phone, saying yes to every little interruption. But on the other side, that's the conscious path. That's where we choose to focus on one thing, to schedule our deep work, and to use our devices thoughtfully, as tools.
This whole approach is really the heart of a philosophy called digital minimalism. And it's not just about a few little life hacks. It's about a complete reset. To really take back control, you have to be willing to start from scratch and ask a really deep question. What do I truly value in my life, and how can this piece of technology serve that, instead of the other way around?
So where do you start? You can start today with a few small acts of rebellion. Seriously, go into your phone settings and turn off every single notification that isn't from an actual human you want to hear from. Block out time on your calendar for deep work and guard it with your life. Use your phone to set up a real in-person coffee, not just to scroll. Here's a fun one. Make a rule to never click on a recommended video. You decide what's next. And hey, try picking up a physical book again. It's amazing.
So as we bring this all home, the main thing to remember is this. The great battle of our century isn't going to be for land or for oil. It's for our attention. And just realizing that you're on the battlefield, well, that's the first step to winning. And that brings us to maybe the most important mindset shift of all. For way too long, we've treated these incredibly sophisticated supercomputers in our pockets like they're just harmless toys from mindless distraction. We have to start treating them for what they are, incredibly powerful tools. And tools are meant to be wielded with intention, with skill, to build the lives we actually want.
Because in the end, it all comes down to a choice. A simple choice. The algorithms want to choose for you. The notifications want to choose for you. But the power to choose has always, always been yours. So the only question left to ask is, where will you choose to put your attention?